Good morning guys, it's Tuesday the 4th of May 2021. Welcome back to Alan's Allotment. Thanks for popping along. If it's your first time here, please think about hitting that little subscribe button down below, then the little bell icon on the right. Select all and that will alert you every time I put up a new video. And that would be much appreciated. Don't forget to like and comment in the section below, or dislike if that's your preference. Right, we did promise you a pigeon video, and today is going to be all about the pigeons. So I'm in here just having a cup of coffee. It's absolutely freezing. It's blowing a gale, but at least it's not raining today. Now yesterday we got our rain that we wished for, and boy did we get it. It rained non-stop all day and it was like midwinter. Needless to say, I wasn't feeling too well yesterday. I knocked myself ill by doing that growing area and trying to do everything in such a short space of time. And yesterday we just came up, checked the birds over, topped up the corn bins and the water bottles, and I watered all the plants in the polytunnel because they'd been taking a bit of a back seat and were slightly neglected. We got all loads of good deep watering, and that was it. And then I went home and I just chilled out. I am feeling a little bit better today. I'm not 100%, but I'm feeling a little bit better. Still got a bit of back pain, but it is what it is. We'll just crack on, and I'm going to show you around the pigeons today. Got to get this cup of coffee, then I'm going to go in there and have a good clean out, and then we'll give you a look at the second round youngsters and where we are at the moment. Tomorrow there's 8 pigeons are being shipped out. The courier's coming to collect them tomorrow. There's some of the birds that were ordered earlier in the year. They're all feeding and drinking and flying now, basically, and they're getting shipped out tomorrow. So we'll give you a quick look at those before they go. And there's been a bit of a development in the full stencil shed as well, and this all happened yesterday, but I'll give you the story as we go along, guys. Stay with me and I'll see you later. Right guys, we'll just give you a quick look at these youngsters, some of them before they go. You can see they're all coming on really nice. That one here is going to be a frill stencil. It's got the white bars and it's starting to get white in the tail. Moving on, we've got the little toy stencil that we got off the brown frill stencil hen, satinette with the Lebanon white check Lebanon cock. This one here is the little indigo check, and that's going to mark. That's one of our barless we're keeping. Another one of the ice and the ice barless. Here we have the nest mate, the black to the toy stencil, which is carrying toy and frill stencil. And then we have the Andalusian brown bar carrying toy and frill stencil. Moving round, we have a blue white flight, it's going to Nikki. Moving up, we've got the brown spread pied going to Mark. Moving up, we've got the light check going to Nikki, and the brown light check going to Mark. Mark's also purchased the ice hen. He's still got a bit of breeding in her yet. She was my project bird for the ice project. Then we're moving round to the Coleman pied, and that one's for Mark as well. And then last but not least, we've got the other brown pied, brown spread pied going to Mark. And that's just another look at the barless that we're keeping. So this shed is basically needing a bit of a clean out, probably at the weekend. So once we've got rid of the 8 youngsters out of here, we will move these birds on into another shed, into another clean shed, and have this bottomed out again, ready for the second round coming off in there. They are also had corn in front of them non-stop since they were put in here. They're now going on to an ounce a day. So that's just a quick look in here, guys. I'm going to crack on cleaning out the stock lofts and then we'll give you a look in there. In here we've got the satinettes and we've got the brown laced satinette paired to the blue laced satinette cock, back on the second round of eggs. But I've got nothing I can float them under, so they're just going to go to waste because they can't rear these themselves, I'm afraid. I'm also going to have a bit of a thin out with some birds in there, guys, so there are going to be some birds going up on the website, some of the older birds. So if anybody's looking for birds for breeding, there will be some available a bit later on in a week or so when I have a sort out, and I may even let some more of the youngsters we've just had a look at go as well. But they're going on the website, and it'll be first come and first served. So if you're not already signed up on the website, please head over there now, get yourself signed up, and it'll be first to get them, we'll get them. Right guys, I'm just back in the shed having a cup of coffee. We're all cleaned out in this shed here now, and you'll see I've made a few changes in there when taking in. This is just something I do, but if you do what I'm going to show you, then do watch carefully if you're going to try this with your birds. So yeah, I've decided I'm going to have a bit more of a thin out and only keep select birds. So I'm going to let some of the last year's yearlings or older birds go, and I'm going to have a thin out in the hens section as well, and there's going to be a few birds going up on the website over the next couple of weeks. So what I've decided is, it got to a stage where I had people texting me, emailing me, messaging me, can I book this, can I book that, can I book the next round off this, can I book, and it was getting absolutely diabolical. No disrespect to anyone, but basically I can't keep track of who's who, where and when. I just can't keep track of it, guys. So I'm going back to the old method, which works and works well. Not only that, I don't have the time. So basically what I'm going to do is there's 2 nests already spoken for on this second round, and that's it. And then I'm going to take all the youngsters off. I'll show you them as we go along, and I'm going to take them off. I'm then going to carefully select the ones I'm keeping, and everything else will be going on the website. It's the only fair way so that everybody gets a shot at getting the birds they want. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the old way of doing things. So this second round, the entire second round, I'm just going to grow them on and show you them as we go through, but then I'm going to keep what I want to keep first, because it transpires I was letting these rounds be booked, and if something pops out that I really want to keep, I don't go back on my word, and I've kept my promise, and those birds would go, and then I would lose out myself. So I've decided what I'm doing is I'm going to take the round off like we used to, keep what I want, and the rest will go on the website. If you're not signed up on the website, you'll miss out, but you can message me and try to secure them that way. But the website is fully automated. It takes PayPal payments. You can add the courier as well, and I'll do all the work of booking the courier. So if you're purchasing the birds and you're unsure about couriers, then add a courier, which will add the total, pay for the lot, then contact me and I'll sort it out. I am going to have a sort out and get rid of a few more of the older birds as well. Some I don't want to really get rid of, but I want to keep my numbers right down, guys. And if I'm going to pick a couple out of these youngsters for this year, then I need to get my numbers down even further. I've already had a massive thin out, and I'm going to thin out again. I'm going to have this cup of coffee, I'm going to stop babbling, and then we're going to give you a look in that stock loft. Right guys, so we're going to have a clean out in here as well, either later or tomorrow. But something I wanted to point out, so this nest here, with the young blondie neck cock and the white toy check hen trigonino, they had the one youngster, and then in the side where the blondie neck cock is, we put them another nest ball in because the hen was showing signs of wanting to lay again. And she did do that, and she laid 2 eggs. But as a result of that, they stopped feeding that youngster. and I was really angry and annoyed about that. So I actually, you can notice on a little pot hanging on the inside of the nest box there. The youngster was crying for food, but they weren't feeding it. So I put a pot in there because I have seen them at that age start picking in a pot if they're really desperate. So we done that yesterday. And then I made a decision to remove the eggs and the nest ball and everything, in the hopes they would go back and start feeding the youngster. And I'm pleased to say that worked. I've just been in there and checked the youngster now, and it's got a lovely full crop. Whether it's been feeding itself out of that pot or whether they have started feeding it again now, I really don't know. But the eggs didn't go to waste because we really want them off this pair. So we floated the eggs underneath the two blacks in the other stock loft, because they laid at exactly the same time, and we sacrificed the black's eggs and threw them away. And hopefully they'll be full like these two were, and we'll get two out, and the blacks will rear them because they haven't had any youngsters this year. So a bit of an annoyance there, guys, but you've got to constantly watch these things, and it seems that the problems are all coming with the birds that I really want. In here we've got a reduced Trigonino and the frill stencil white bar cock, and the two youngsters in there appear to be just black at the moment. We'll leave them to grow a bit more, but she is back down on 2 eggs as well as 2 big youngsters in the nest, and they're still feeding really well. And he's only a late bred cock, and he's doing really well. Moving down, this black hen has laid 2 eggs this time with the old satinette cock. What's really obvious is these satinettes don't feed the youngsters, even the ones with the long beaks. That white check cock next door is doing all the feeding, so it's just as well they only have the 1 youngster. And these 2 eggs here are going to be taken off there, and they're going to be put under this pair, and we're going to sacrifice those eggs a little nearer the time. But I want those 2 youngsters to start coming out in this side of the nest, so they're not trampling all over the eggs. And then we'll put some clean bedding in there and let these 2 rear those. Because it's very clear this blondie neck cock also isn't feeding its youngster. The little trig is doing all the work. So there's no point in even trying with these. What I'm going to do in the future is just pair them together and take the eggs off, and we'll have to make sure we've got something that goes down the same time and float the eggs off if we're going to get these out, guys. That's just a quick update in here. What's also annoying is this cock here on the top is bullying this cock here every time he goes down for feed as well, and he's becoming a real nuisance. I'm thinking about taking him out of the equation altogether and leaving the hen to rear that youngster on her own. She might do a better job. And then these 2 will be able to crack on as well, because that cock is becoming a nuisance now. Just an update in here, guys. Right, guys, I'm going to have to give you this video through the wires, I'm afraid. I've already disturbed the birds enough. So we've got our little ice pair there again, back on 2 eggs. They should be hatching shortly. Up on this top nest here off the Andalusian hen and the white bar cock, we have 1 youngster, 1 died. What's more, I missed getting a ring on that one, so it has no rings on. We'll wait and see what that one turns out to be. Now, I suggested I had done something different in here, and I've reverted back. It didn't work this year. So in the here, behind the birds, you'll see there's a nest pan where they have 2 youngsters coming along really well. Good pair this. They breed reliably every time. Now there's 2 youngsters in the nest behind there, and that's their second nest. They've already bred me a frill stencil this year and a frill stencil split, and they're on the second round now. But what I did was I moved that nest pan and I put it in here to get them back into the side where I want them to be. And some birds will actually take that move without too much fuss, and some definitely will not and will refuse to go and get back on the youngsters, so we've had to put them back again. Likewise with the almond and the check hen, we moved theirs in there and they protested profusely, and I ended up having to put it back again, and now they're settling down again. Moving over, we have the milkies back on the third round. Highly unlikely they're going to hatch, but we'll let them sit them through because I've got something to float under there if they turn out not to be full. This pair of blacks here now are sitting the eggs of that toy stencil check hen with that blondie neck cock. They're sitting those. Moving up, we've got our barless pair, barless brown and barless blue. Again, she only laid one egg, and so they're just on that one egg, and it'll hatch around the same time as the ice. I was going to take you in and let you have a closer look at these youngsters, but I've disturbed them too much already, and I need them to get back on now because it's cold today. There is two in there. Thought they might have been ready for ringing today, but we're going to leave them till tomorrow. I want to get out of here pretty quick so we can get these birds back on the youngsters. Now here's an example of where we moved a youngster, and that's off the brown satinette hen with the toy check cock, and they've took the move okay, and the cock's only just came off there now, so they're fine. Moving up, we've got the indigo, pair of indigos, the double factor indigo and the indigo check hen. Their youngsters have only hatched today. Again, we moved the nest over there, and they protested profusely and wouldn't refuse to go and get back on the youngsters. We've had to put it back. Moving up, we've got the brown spread cock on two youngsters, which is spoken for by Tony, and our good almond hen. Moving down, we have the dark check hen with the white almond cock. Likewise, we moved the nest into there, and they refused to get back on the youngsters as well, so we've had to put it back. And then last but not least, we've got the white bar cock and the indigo hen on two big fine youngsters with rings on. And they look like they're going to be pieds, but we don't know whether they're going to be blue pieds, indigo pieds or opal pieds. So we'll wait and see how that pans out, guys. So sorry I couldn't give you a closer look at these youngsters, but basically just to let you know how they're getting on. So we've got two youngsters in there, nearly ready for ringing. These have just hatched today. This frill stencil youngster is coming on okay. With two youngsters off the dark check hen and the white almond cock. With two off the white bar and the indigo. The barless cock, one egg, should hopefully be hatching shortly. The blacks are now sitting the blondinettes and the white trig check eggs. The milkies are on their own eggs, but I doubt very much they'll hatch. The almond cock back on his two youngsters with the check hen. Then we have two youngsters in the back there that you can see off the black hen, F1 Lebanon, F1 frill stencil, and the toy check cock. And then we have the white full stencil cock with his daughter Andalusian full stencil split on one egg. And then as again the ice project pair down on the second nest. Right guys, final roundup as usual. I'm having my last cup of coffee and then I'm going home for some lunch. Hope you've enjoyed today's little video. As I say, I will be thinning some of those older birds out, and I might think about letting another one or two of those youngsters go that we've already weaned off. I haven't made my mind up yet on that one. If you haven't already, pop over to the website, which there'll be a link in the description field down below. Copy and paste it in and then visit the website. If you aren't already signed up, sign yourself up. It's totally free, as is it is to subscribe to this channel. Both are free. And then when the birds do go up on the website, you'll be in with a chance of buying the birds. And what we're going to do is the same as we did last time. Prior to the birds going live on the website, I will do another video like this telling you what day and what time the birds will go live on the website. And if you're there at the right time and there's birds there that you want, you'll be able to add them to your basket and purchase them. Any questions, feel free to email me in the section below. My email's always in there as well. On the website, with the adverts, we'll put my telephone number on. If you don't have PayPal, you can do bank transfer. You can basically add the birds and the courier, put them in your basket and check out, and then contact me for my bank details on how to pay. For now guys, that's it. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, dislike and leave a comment in the section below. For now, please stay safe, be practical, keep yourselves out of harm's way. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.